again, this is the last video for this semester's assignments, and it won't be the dorkiest of the videos I've made, but again, I hope I'm helpful. Your last assignment is a polemical essay, and that requires that you essentially synthesize all the kinds of lessons that we have been learning throughout the semester. You have heard a lot of information and arguments on both sides of immigration during this semester. You may have walked into the class with an opinion about immigration that may have changed, but if it didn't change, that doesn't mean that you aren't better informed in your ability to make a case for your side of an argument in immigration. You've learned to see flaws in logic on both sides of that question. You have learned from first-person accounts a bit about the experience of different communities and their immigration narratives. You've written your own immigration narrative. You have learned to read between the lines in a book to understand deeper meanings of those kinds of narratives. And now, after rhetorical analysis, exegetical analysis, and writing your own narrative, it's up to you to write an argument, a polemical essay that makes a case either for or against immigration in relatively broad terms. And there are a couple of things that you're going to need to learn how to do well in order to succeed at this last and perhaps most challenging assignment, one that should help prepare you very well, I hope, for English 102. First of all, you need to know the difference between an argument and a fight. You need to be able to clearly say something more intelligent to support your case than, well, you know, I'm right because, you know, shut up because your face. You have to have something smarter to say than that. You have to be able to present evidence. You can't think of yourself as if you were a lawyer representing either the state or representing a client in a murder trial. It would be unacceptable for a prosecutor to press charges against a suspected murderer and say, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, that man over there is guilty. How do I know he's guilty? Well, just look at him. I mean, just look at him. He's totally guilty. I say he's guilty. Guilty, guilty, guilty. Thank you. I rest my case. Any jury that was being honest would dismiss charges against such a person because no evidence was presented. So you have to present evidence. You're going to be using the text that we've read. You can use some other texts, but what I'm really asking you to do is to present a logical case rather than focus on research for this particular assignment. Likewise, if you were the defense attorney in such a murder trial, you could not just say, look at my client, he is innocent, just look at his cute face. Like if my dog were on trial for murder, you could imagine, say, look at his cute face. Well, that's not enough to get someone off a murder charge in this country, nor should it be. The defense attorney has to present evidence as well. Likewise, even if I get evidence, I have to explain it. Let me show you what I mean. Imagine for a moment, this is the murder weapon. Somehow the person got hair clipped to death. So, if I am the prosecutor and I am saying, ladies and gentlemen, I present you Exhibit A, I cannot just say, look, ma. Maybe this will be the dorkiest video I'm making for the semester, I don't know. In any case, you can't do that, and the reason is, it is an obligation of the prosecution not just to show a murder weapon, but to link it to the scene of the crime, to explain its significance, to link the person who is accused of the murder to the weapon, so that we don't just go, ah, but that we actually say, this belongs to the murderer was wearing it in her hair on the night of the murder. She lost it, she said, during the evening. It was found covered in the victim's blood. It had clearly clutched his throat. There were hair clip marks on the murder victim's throat. Therefore, this was the weapon. Two people saw the murderer take out the clip out of her hair and say, "I'm too mad to talk right now." That might be at least some circumstantial evidence to suggest that this was indeed the deadly hair clip. In any case, every piece of writing that you might choose to include needs to be curated in a similar fashion. You can't just say, here's a quote that says something that I agree with, boom, I dropped the mic. You have to explain why this helps further the initial case that you're making. You explain where the information comes from, you present the quote, and then you explain its significance to the completion of your argument. And your argument needs to be coherent and organized. You've been working hard all semester. By the time you've received this assignment, I know that you can handle this because you have done everything else that the class has done to prepare you for this assignment. It'll be another 4-page essay, and I am certain that you have it in you at this point, based on what you've already done, to do this next assignment. We're going to work in class on learning how to present an argument. I know many of you were taught to have good manners, and that means avoiding arguments. Originally from New York City, I come from the land of arguments. We like them, we cherish them, but we're going to work on how you have a debate where you take a side and stand firmly for your side. I know, again, that you can succeed here. This will be your last assignment for this class. That's one of the major assignments, independent of the final exam, and I believe that you will succeed here.